to Redlining. How you going, Rich?
Oh, it's going so good.
You're going so good.
I'm excited again.
He's just excited because the weather is so amazing.
It isn't it?
Across from us tonight, we've got someone, I think, you're a local, eh, Gaston?
All right. Hi, guys. Nice to meet you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Argentina.
Yeah,
original.
cool.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was living a couple of years in Australia before I decided to move to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you left Argentina, did you mean to kind of leave for a good period of time, or did you just go to Australia just to see what it was like and then ended up staying there?
Well, I will say the second one. I didn't mean to leave for a long period of time, but I just moved there and the situation started being amazing for my life. Like I started having a lot of the gigs and traveling with doing the music and a lot of stuff. That is when I began with Hypnosis.
There's a lot of Argentinians in Auckland, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a lot. A big community. Yeah. Actually, that was talking with my friends. I have so many French people also. And when they come to the events, they are like, there is a lot of Latins here. Yeah. Well, I'm Latin too. I think it's normal.
What is it you like about New Zealand?
Well, you have a really beautiful landscapes here. It's not the weather, of course. No.
Did you say weather or women?
No, weather. I say weather.
Tough guy.
No. I couldn't say that.
He's so straight up. I agree on both accounts. Carry on.
I always have this kind of problem for my accent. No, yeah, I really like the landscapes here. It's so amazing. It make me remember a little bit to South Argentina, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. So you are a DJ producer.
Yeah.
And you were a DJ first, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So what's your music style?
Okay, I will say that I've been DJing for the last 5 years, and between all this period of time, I changed a lot what I'm doing. Like I start very like, when I start with a maybe melodic techno, going to peak time driving techno, but slowly year per year I start getting higher and higher in which is the style that I want or what I'm looking for. Also with my productions, I just finished a couple of tracks and I'm just waiting to be in a good level.
So you're slowly pushing up the BPMs?
Yeah, slowly I started pushing the BPM. Now I would say that I'm playing around 138 probably, something like that. Yes, getting to the hard techno too. Yeah.
So did you start DJing in Argentina, or was this something in Australia?
In Argentina, I bought my first mixer. Yeah, it was a Nomad mixer, pretty 2 channels.
Like a controller?
Yeah, exactly. A pretty classic one. And when I moved to Australia, I lived there for a couple of years and I started as a raver. I started going to raves and during the COVID, because that happened when I was living there, all the class was shut and everything was just no music for a long period of time. But I have a really good crazy friends that we decided to make this famous bush stuff. So we were collecting a bunch of people, start with 50 probably, and going to the middle of the forest and start making a rave, bring generator, speaker, DJ decks and everything. And that thing started growing and growing. One day we didn't realize we have like 200 people in the middle of the forest, people camping, just waking up the next day to keep the party going, music non-stop for 22 hours. Like
where was this?
That was in North Australia, in Queensland, Cairns. So I was living in Cairns for a while. I love it. Weather is crazy.
Fucking love Cairns.
It's nice. My sister used to live there. It's fucking hot apparently from time to time. It's Townsville, all the way up there.
Yeah. Tropical North.
So when did you come to New Zealand?
So I came to New Zealand in the 2 years ago, actually. In the 22. Yeah. So how's your musical journey progressed as you came to New Zealand? Well, when I decided to come to New Zealand, Hypnosis was already a big thing in Australia, but no, like I wasn't doing events that much by the time because everything started opening up again. So to make something different, I remember I did my first boat party, and I was in Sydney living, and I brought DJ from Cairns, and in that event it was really successful. We got like, I will say 200 people in a boat, and the boat was insane in the sunset time, just crossing the bridge Harbour, and everything was beautiful. The opera house. So that's where I decided that Hypnosis is something big. But before that, I was just playing for the different promoters. Also, I would say that I was really growing up as a DJ there. Like that's why I didn't put much energy to hypnosis by the time, because I wanted my personal career to grow up. Because I was traveling a lot there in Australia, I got also flights coming from Cairns to Sydney or in the other positive way, just for them to pay me with like, they were paying me flights, accommodation for a weekend and stuff like that. And for me, it was like something insane. I wouldn't believe it. I still don't believe it. One day I talked with a friend that he was living here in New Zealand, and I say, well, how is the techno scene there? And they say, well, it's not that big.
That's an understatement.
But you can come and have a look. So when I came, I wasn't thinking actually to stay here. I just decided to come. I think after 1 or 2 months analyzing the situation, I realized I decided to make my first Hypnosis 7, and I brought one DJ from Australia. During the time we brought more, and also a German DJ, a very good name, Club Code. When we brought that guy, it was a completely game change. Like we jumped from having 80 and 90, 100 people to 200 or something more bigger.
What venue was that? Was that the Mothership?
There was a Mothership.
Yeah, it was the Mothership. I thought it was,
It's a beautiful venue, by the way. But our local resident venue is actually El Bruto. I got in love of the Bruto. I'm friend of the guy, the owner, Mariano. He's Argentinian too. So it's easy to talk with. And I became friend of him. I told him about the idea of create a new company here, a new community of techno. Try to make it growing up, because I think what I wanted with the idea is put another techno party on the scene, plus the one that we have, at more and more. Probably that's my idea, to injecting more techno to the public.
So is that where the Hypnosis was born, or was Hypnosis born in Australia?
Hypnosis was born in Australia. Hypnosis was born in Australia. I made 4 events there before I took a little holidays in Bali. And then I came to New Zealand to keep rolling events here. The idea to come to New Zealand, it was actually probably make 1-2 events and see how the things goes. But from the beginning, it was very successful. Like all the people was like very supportive and everything. And I just didn't want to leave then.
So do you find that your crowd is mainly South American, or is it a nice mix of all kinds of people?
I gotta say that I would say 50% of the people is South American, because also I got a lot of friends from South America, and they just talk each other a lot. And they say, well, this guy is doing probably a good techno parties. But I find out that we have a lot of Germans and French people too. Not much Kiwis, to be honest, but French and German.
It's well, I might be corrected by certain people, but it's still fairly new in New Zealand. Well, not necessarily new, but it's not been a big scene here. And it has been slowly growing with different promotions, sort of, putting on techno events. I mean, they've had some decent techno events over the last couple of years here, for sure.
It is. I saw growing up so much promotion and techno events during the last 2 years I was living here. Actually, I saw a couple being born, and now they are a big thing now. So I'm very happy for all of them. Like, everyone who make techno will make me happy, actually. Who put something to the scene and anything.
Do you dabble with any other genres as well, or are you just more of a techno head?
Well, not really. I listen all kind of electronic music, to be honest. But it depends of the day. I like to play techno, but depending of the day, I can really listen some progressive house. I like also trance. I really like trance lately. Maybe some hard techno just for the gym.
Because progressive house is quite big in South America, isn't it?
It's a huge thing. South America is actually bigger than techno, I will say, because we have a really big DJ that is very recognized in the world. I saw
Hernan Catania.
I saw him so many times, even in Argentina, in Australia, and here in New Zealand, I saw him in a studio. It was a huge party.
I saw him at the Sonorous Festival a couple of years back. It was so good, really good. Yeah, he's amazing. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that guy's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah,
and
he's
a master of his craft.
54, I think he is, or something like that. Yeah. He has a big career. Yeah.
So talk about some parties from Argentina, because we've had a few Argentinians on the show, and they always talk about these massive night parties that go on in Argentina. What part of Argentina are you from?
Yeah, well, I'm from Córdoba. Córdoba capital, that's mean is the city. And because Córdoba is located in the center of Argentina, all the other states, sometimes they came to party on my city. So it was easy to me. It's like you find here in Oakland people from Queenstown and everything because the DJ is coming to here. Yeah, okay. It was happening that in my city. And I would say parties there is a big thing. It's another level. Like for us, we were having DJs coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was not an event for 2,000 or 3,000 people. Probably so was 7 and 10, and you couldn't believe what were you doing. Sometimes it was for Hernán Cataño. When Hernán Cataño played in my city, he played for 2 days on the road. 10,000 tickets sold both of the days.
So 2 days consistently.
2 days consistently. 6 hours of set each day. 10,000 people solo each day. I think that is insane. And it looked pretty much as a festival, but it's actually for one DJ. And we couldn't believe it. Like in my country, the electronic thing is a serious thing.
So is techno fairly big over it? I know obviously we talk progressive house is the biggest thing, but is techno still got a good following?
Yeah, it's a really big thing now. At the beginning, it started like with some minimal techno. It was a pretty, like, for example, Boris Brejcha came so many times to Argentina, to my city especially, but then with the time, a lot of techno DJs started coming, like Adam Beyer, like the Jordani, and a bunch of other artists, very good. And that was, I was lucky that I was in the moment that I was living there and I could see them for first time. I remember I always like Maceo Plex. It's not the style it's not actually the style that I'm playing now, but when I saw Maceo Plex for first time in Argentina, I remember I was with my friend and I just started crying because I was so happy. I was like, I can't believe I'm watching this guy now playing. And I think that guy was one who introduced me to the electronic music when I was pretty young, in my early 14.
So you're now a producer as well. So you produce music.
I'm producing music now. I still haven't realized anything yet, but I have 2 songs almost ready and sent it to the label. So
when did you start producing?
2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
it's a long way. It's a completely different thing. It's not like a DJ.
No.
It's kind of hard because sometimes you feel like you have the sounds on your mind, but you need to also learn how to put them on the computer. Like it's sometimes okay. Let's say that I have the creativity, but how I translate what I have here to the computer, and that's what it took time actually. Yeah. And doing everything, the music, the events, the DJ, and it's kind of hard to find also time to sit in the studio and start producing. But I do. I actually do. I try.
So I think it's not a full-time gig. What keeps you employed? What keeps you outside of music? Like what?
Well, there is you mean what I'm doing outside of music?
Yeah.
Okay. There is something that I really like that some people would say that I'm crazy, but I work as an abseiler too.
Really?
So, yeah, I really like abseiler. So
an abseiler?
Abseiler, yeah.
Whoa, that's cool.
So sometimes I find myself doing some kind of work, abseiling in a 20-floor building and hanging out there, watching the cities, thinking, insane view. Some people may think that I'm the insane one, but I really love it. I really love.
So you obviously got a good head for heights then.
Yeah, I love it. I found that job because actually I was doing high slackline. You know, we were putting with my friend a slackline between mountains. Slide with an arnest. So I was doing that, and then I started talking with the people that was doing it there because it was kind of camp here in New Zealand. And they say, "Oh, you work as a rope access with." Doing rope access, and I say, no, what's that? I didn't even know about the job before. I gotta be honest. It's something that you see, but you don't think about it. And I realized that everyone there was doing it. So I say, well, are you scared of height? No, at all. Okay, let's try. And I tried, and it's good, really good pay too.
Yeah.
Not everyone wanna do it up there, that's why.
So what do you do with your abseiling? So like, do you cleaning windows and shit? Or
Cleaning window is the basic thing, but for example, I have a skill as a painter. I'm very good using tools, fixing
mental,
things.
Isn't it? Why is it like I'm going? My office job is to go up like 20 floors and just like chill out the office.
I think people like you are missing an enzyme in the brain or something. Like, something not kicking in. You know, the dopamine just hasn't quite got there yet, eh? Fucking hell.
Sometimes I find myself just jumping, to try to get to the corner or something.
Yeah.
And people on the floor just watching me like, what the fuck? This guy is insane. What he's doing there?
That's some Tom Cruise.
Do you ever like take a GoPro and like strap it to your head and stuff?
I wish I could. Actually, it's a good idea.
Do you know, like whenever I'm scrolling through like Facebook when I'm bored, I always see these. I don't know why I attract them because I've got the worst head for heights. I fucking hate heights. But I'm really intrigued when I see videos of like free climbers and people who hang off buildings or
just parkour people.
Yeah. Like, and you're just like, oh, there's this video of this person walking along like a really thin beam, like 200 stories up, and I'm like, what? I really shouldn't be watching this, but I can't help myself. I'm just like. So I saw there was a film called The Walk that was made that was about a French guy. So they made that so it was a remake with I can't remember the actor's name. But so it was all CGI. So it was about this guy who walked between the Twin Towers in the late 70s or something, what it is. And they made a film about it, and there's a lot of CGI. But I went and saw it in the IMAX in 3D, and I was like, I'm going to test myself and see what it's like that. It was actually, the film wasn't brilliant, but the actual shots in 3D in the IMAX, watching him walk, obviously it's CGI, but it was quite incredible, I have to say. Like sort of made you like feel like you were there.
Yeah. What do you listen to when you're doing those jobs?
Exactly,
Well, believe it or not, sometimes I listen hard techno doing that job. It keeps me awake. I need to be awake.
Jesus.
So do you ever do any of that sort of not free climbing, but do you do a lot of like rock climbing or anything like that?
I like to do rock climbing. I never been doing free climbing. I think that's a completely different thing. I will be a little bit. I will be a little bit scared too. I prefer the ropes. I know they will hang me.
That's cool. That's cool. Is there anywhere that you sort of have climbed or you sort of aspire to climb?
Sorry, can you?
As in kind of like I don't know, fucking up a mountain or something, like a famous location. Like up a mountain or something like that.
Not really, but I was following a couple of people who was actually doing a slack line between mountains, and they were famous because these guys were doing it in a very big mountains, longer, probably 100 or 200 meters, the line, and just walking, jumping, and doing crazy things I think I'm not ready for that. It's a completely different thing.
I saw someone doing that the other day. It was two guys, and one of them fell. He had a safety rope. But even then, you just see him. He's like fucking around, and then he just falls. He's got the rope, and you watch that, and you're like, no. Fuck no.
They recommend you to, when you fall, just try to put your hands close to your body. Don't try to grab the rope because you will. Yes, exactly. So the first time I remember I did that, and I got by my harness got me. You feel like you are falling to. The infinity place, until you just hang there. That's a little bit scary.
So did that not put you off? Obviously, it didn't put you off, but have you had any so that was obviously a bit of a scare. Have you had any sort of near misses?
No, not really.
Yeah, that's good.
Not really, and I haven't met anyone either.
I've got this really weird fascination of tightrope walkers. Like I watch. There's a famous tightrope walker, an American guy who he walks across the Grand Canyon on a tightrope, and he didn't have a tether. They showed it live.
They've just got does he use the bar?
He uses the bar. I can't remember, he's a famous guy. I can't remember his name, but and I was just like, this is like, oh my God. And he walks all the way, but Jesus,
that's insane.
It is insane. Because he comes from like a famous family, I think, of tightrope walkers. And there was one video of a guy in the 70s who was doing it in Mexico. and he actually fell, and they filmed him fall, not like hit the ground or anything, but like it was really windy and the tightrope wasn't completely secure, and he sort of crouched down and he just fell off, and you're just like, oh. I was just like, I don't know, it's just a weird, anyway, like moving on.
Hypnosis now.
I don't know why we went down that road.
So what's the theme of Hypnosis? What makes Hypnosis different from all other productions?
Well, we are trying to explore that with my new partner on this work, that is Gabriela Gonzalez. I think she was already here.
Friend of the show and friend of
the show.
Oh, Gabby.
Yeah, she's my business partner, Argentinian too, by the way. I like to talk with Argentinians. And we are trying to find how we can make Hypnosis different from the rest, just not only offer another party of that is techno music. That's why we are a little bit exploring also going to the hard techno, because I don't think that there is enough production here that are making hard techno at the moment. It doesn't have to be like all the night hard techno, but got in like a transition with the high BPM, just with some hypnotic techno and getting into the high part, and then probably coming down a little bit by then. Because clubs here get a little bit empty at 3 after 3 a.m. when usually in Argentina that's the time that they are getting up. But yeah, we are planning a bunch of different parties along the year, and something I can't say much about it right now, but we are planning a couple of cooperation with other productions. Probably in the future, more in the summertime, try to get a couple and do a kind of festival or something.
Oh, cool!
It will be great to that.
So your last 140 at Il Bruto, how was that?
Well, the last for 140 BPM was actually completely successful. I would say was one of the best events that we ever made here in New Zealand. All the event was pretty much very good, all of them sold out, but in the last one particularly, the energy was on another level. Like the club got sold out and so faster in the actually. People here wait until the last moment to buy the tickets.
Yeah, they do.
So you don't really know if the club will be full until the last day.
Kiwis don't commit to anything.
They don't know what they are doing.
When a Kiwi rings you at 1 o'clock in the morning, you stole out, that means they haven't done anything else.
Exactly.
You're the last resort.
So we got that sold out in the online tickets for the last event, and we make available on door around 20 tickets or something. And in the first hour, they just got empty. I remember I was meant to play that night, and I remember being on the door with my friends and saying, "Oh, guys, I think we are sold out. We need to close the door already." And Mariano just came coming upstairs and saying, "Gaston, close the door right now. There is no more people getting in here."
Where do you guys market? Is it all social media? Do you put up flyers? You say there's a lot of Argentinians and foreigners. Do you go to like dorms or?
How I work with my team is we have a lot the social media promotion, and also we have flyers that we always repart around different kind of places. Mainly hostels, because I find out that probably many backpackers are more into techno than the Kiwis and see. Kiwis like more drum and bass, I guess, and all that kind of stuff. Not all of them, but I'm just saying what I'm seeing generally.
We're simple people.
So I put my objective more on the backpackers.
Sure.
I have a lot of promoters that they were working with me along the last year, and they are really good into promotion and social media and stuff. So.
Because there's a few promotions out there that are South American. You've got Chubba Trance is run by a Brazilian guy, Alison. So do you sort of confer, not necessarily with that one, but confer with other sort of promotions to try and sort of get ideas or work together?
Well, I haven't been thinking late about it, but I know exactly with that promoter, but I have been talking with a couple of brands that I found that they are really nice people. Like, so we talk as a friend and we say, okay, I give you a hand and you also give me a hand. Like, he helped me to promotion my party, collaborations, but we not even doing the event together. Sometimes it's more like, okay, you don't have anything in these next 2-3 weeks, so you can help me to promote my event, and I will do it yours in return. It's actually, when I started that, we didn't do it with this intention. It was like, because I went to many of different, a lot of really good event techno, like I can tell it. Like, for example, Sear, I love the people of Sear. They are making insane techno parties at the moment. Blackout is one of my favorites. I remember when I went to almost all the Blackouts. I love them. I love the team. They are amazing.
We had Juan on the podcast a few weeks ago.
Ah, yeah? I haven't saw that one.
Good guy. Yeah, it's on our...
Okay. That's my work to do at home. They are amazing, and I love their event. So anytime I'm not rolling in an event in the same day, I will always promote them, because it's not because they are telling me to do it and anything. It's because they are my friend also, and I really like what they are doing. Yeah,
we've been banging on about this for a while. It's all about collaboration and like promoting each other. If you support each other in the scene, then the scene's going to grow, right? Exactly. Like if we didn't, like we obviously do this and we promote a lot of people and DJs and promoters and events and stuff like that, and we also get a lot of love back for the stuff that we do. So it's kind of like a win-win for everybody. But
and that's the way it has to work in New Zealand, because it's such a small country.
Exactly.
You know, it cracks me up how sometimes you get some New Zealand promoters or DJs or anything that try to play hard to get, like they're better than anybody else, but it's too small, man.
Yeah.
Too small.
So working together, I think, is the way to grow up. Actually, that's what I wanted. That's what I still want. Like trying to make it grow up the scene, trying to make more people listen techno. Sometimes I found out that many people came for a techno party for first time, and in my events, and they are like, I love them. I want to come to anyone. Oh, great! And I feel like great. I really prefer someone that came for first time and listen techno and say, oh, I think I like this. And they start coming to the events to grow up the crew and the people. Always I got classic. I always got message from my friend any Saturday or something. What is happening tonight? What are you up to? I'm bed, doing nothing. But sometimes I recommend a really good event are happening. Like I find out that many of my friends just came to me to know what is going on, and I say, oh, this weekend is happening this one, this weekend is happening this one. Talking, of course, about techno. I can just not talk about anything else.
So you've got an event coming up on the... I should know it.
You should know it.
I should know it. So you've got an event coming up on the 7th?
In the 7th of June. Friday, 7th of June. On El Bruto Club CBD.
Yep. So do you now, like, after having sort of one successful 140 BPM, are you looking to sort of like carry on that momentum? You're like expecting the same kind of people down? Or, I mean, what would you say to people that are like sort of sitting on the fence going, oh, is 140 going to be a bit hard for me? Or I don't know.
Well, what I'm trying to do in the next event is actually bring people who is attracted to the high frequency to do some high BPM. But it's not. It doesn't mean that Hypnosis is gonna just follow this path and only this path. I actually, after this event, I got a confirmation of a really good DJ coming from Australia. First time in New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
I did that before, and I like to do it. It's a big job that we were working months in behind because months ago, because you need to get the visa, hotel, and everything that the DJs ask for. So, and this DJ is gonna be more like a peak time techno, more like 130 BPM probably, or something like that. So we will have to adapt and make sure that everyone knows what they are doing. That's why when I create the 140 BPM events, just to try to say this is gonna be high.
I think, I mean, that sort of kind of makes sense. But I think like I think people sort of are getting more into the faster stuff, aren't they? Like it's coming back in.
Well, yeah, exactly. And surprisingly, that was what it showed the last event. I was really surprised. I think it was the best Hypnosis ever because I got so many people there, and the energy was just insane. They didn't even. You remember I just told you that at 3 a.m. clubs are empty. This club didn't. It was full until 4. Like we couldn't believe it.
I don't believe it.
I need to see it.
I'm always surprised because I'm never out until that late, until we have our own gigs. And it's like, people just sort of dry up by 3. Then when you got someone really good on and you're like, this sucks.
That's almost like the promised land, that, isn't it? Like if you can keep a club busy until it closes, and like people go, because that's when I used to go out, right? I'm going to show my age, but when I used to go out in the late 90s, when I was your age, and sort of started getting into music, like it came to like the night used to go well quickly, and then when sort of 3:45 ticked round, the place was heaving, and you're thinking, fuck, everyone's going to go home in 15 minutes, and no one wants it, and then the music stops. Go, one more tune. We wouldn't leave until one more tune is. Now, like, come 4 o'clock, you got 5 people on the dance floor. I can't wait to kick you out. So you go home.
They're the only ones that can afford a bag.
Exactly. That's true.
That's very true. Very true. So what have you got after you got the 7th? You got anything else planned after that?
We got the 7th of June at the moment, but I didn't say anything about the next 7 after it. I just want to keep the surprise until this finishes ends.
Oh, that's
good. That's good. Okay.
Until we turn the mics off, hey?
I told you which one is the DJ.
So you mentioned earlier that you're partnering with Gabriella in Hypnosis. What's it like working with Gabriella? Well, she's a friend of ours, so
work with Gabriella. Some issues. Actually, Gabriella was the best that happened to me. I've been working with so many time in the last years, but I think like Gabriella is perfect doing the things that I'm not good at.
Yeah.
So that's how we complement each other.
Yeah.
I like more being into the music. I like always to listen to DJs that I'm playing. I really like to organize which one is playing first, second, and stuff like that, just to make a completely atmosphere. And I'm very, like Gabriella will say, that I'm very strict with that. I really feel that this is the way of stuff.
Yeah.
And Gabriella helped me a lot with the social media, the promotion and stuff. She's more into there in the promoting, because Gabriella is also owner of her own brand, Frecuencias New Zealand. And she's rolling events, she's having gigs all the time. So she knows what she's doing in that area. So we decide, okay, I became part of this side, you became part of this side, and both of us make a really good team.
Yeah.
Also, she's really good to like the accounting. she's really good to see it and do all that thing. Okay, this guy need to get paid. Okay. You can because
one thing that I've learned about Gabriella is that she's probably the most professional person that I know in the business. Like, she is super professional.
She is.
And when you come across someone that professional, it's just really easy to work with. You know, you know what you're going to get, and she always delivers.
And also, she's such a nice person. As a person, awesome. I really like to talk with her, because sometimes I came with the crazy ideas like this one, like 140 BPM now. Okay, why? Just because I was trying for a couple of weeks in my studio, making a set higher and higher and higher, and I was like, okay, I think I really have something good here that I want to show. And where I want to show it in my event. I gotta be honest, at first I wasn't. Now I'm more open to collaborate with other brands, and also not to collaborate with Hypnosis, to collaborate as my personal DJ career. Before, because I was rolling Hypnosis on the same time, I was only just playing an Hypnosis. This is gonna sound a little bit weird, but why? Because I found so many people who actually wanted to come and listen to my music. So I say, okay, I'm gonna play only my events to have some exclusivity. Let's say that the only exclusivity of Hypnosis, it will be me. Because you will find me only playing there. And it's an election. Before, of course, I play for so many brands. I travel, I did everything. I really like it. But now I think I just have the time I want to work and grow Hypnosis, but also just have time to prepare my sets. Well, prepare my sets just to be sure what I want to play and show it in my event. So it's always something special. Cool. I've never played the same set in any of the events.
That's fair enough.
So we'll wrap it up soon, but the last question I want to ask you is, where do you see yourself going? What's the dream?
My dream, okay. My dream with Hypnosis is actually one day being a big promoter and cool bring like, I don't know, this weekend Hypnosis is bringing present club corks, I don't know, or car cocks, or I don't know, big names that I really go live to. That's my big dream as Hypnosis. I really want to bring a very famous DJ, like Drumcode is one of my levels, my favorite levels. I love Drumcode level. You will find Adam Bejer, Bar Skills there. I play with Bar Skill in Sydney.
Oh, really?
I was the guy who gave him the headphone, and I was surprised. That was cool. The best moment of my DJ career was that one. And I remember, I remember I ended up playing, and it was like 500 people on the club. And I give him the headphone, and I say, hey, I'm your fan. I saw him in Argentina many times. And I say, I'm your fan. Oh, thank you. He say, I'm your fan. And I was like, getting red. Of course you're joking. Well, that was amazing. Yeah. So my dream is actually if I can bring those DJs. There is many names in the techno scene that they are never been here. Or they've been years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, there's not actually many big techno artists that come here. They come here occasionally for a festival like in the summer, but not for clubs. Like, I can't even remember if Adam Bay has been here.
Yeah.
I don't think he has.
No, I don't think he has. And that's crazy because they came pretty often to Australia.
Well, they all go to Australia. It's like most DJs. They go to Australia, but they don't come here. But there you go. Maybe you're the promoter to bring them over.
I will try my best. And as a DJ, my dream is actually start touring the world one day. But I want to do atomic steps. I think first is try to finish my own music, show my own music, open my Spotify, and then get gigs and stuff.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm very more into my own music right now than try to export things.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Well, Gaston, gracias, señor.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Mucho gusto.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.